What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik channel. We are hosting today another MademB and Narik reviews.
Hi.
And in this one, of course, as you can tell right here on the screen, we are going to be uh, MademB and Narik reviewing the 1983 classic John Carpenter's Christine. Now, I believe Christine was actually, it was adapted from Stephen King novel the same name. The novel? Oh, I thought it was like a short story or something. Because a lot of this stuff does come in short stories.
Mm.
But hey, all right, we watched Christine. What was it, like a week ago?
Yeah.
About a week ago. And what was our initial like impressions of it?
Well, when I first saw it, years and years and years ago, I was like, oh, okay, cool car. Does all that. You know, I didn't find it scary. It was just like thrilling. But a week ago, when I saw it, I found so many things that they could have done better. So many things wrong with it. Things that didn't make any sense. So, yeah.
So I'm like that too. Like I still think it's like a good movie. Like I would rate it.
We're not at
Um.
the rating yet.
Oh, well, my bad.
I mean, there are things that they could have
No, yeah, I mean,
done better
yes,
to make
yes.
it a nice, enjoyable watch.
Yeah, yeah, make it a little bit better. I feel like this is one of those movies like it should have been like 2 hours long.
Yeah, overtime.
Yeah,
Definitely.
or it could be like a little limited series or something. But anyways, the film is about this nerdish type guy, whatever this guy was.
You can say he's nerdish, unpopular, anything that.
He's like the basic trope of the '80s. Uh,
Let's say what's happening in the beginning, how it all started.
I ain't going through all of that. But
Well, that's what a
anyway,
review is for.
no, that's what you call. You can do that. I don't do it normally unless it's like a discussion or something. But I guess I had a discussion about this movie. Anyway, this nerd ends up getting this really old car, and he ends up fixing the car up. And as you see, he's got the car fixed up. He's like a different person, and then things start kind of happening, and you know, it turns out the car is actually supernaturally possessed.
It would have been better if you know, before it got to the assembly line, it would have showed what happened to the car to get it possessed. Because all we just saw was um, cars on the assembly line, one red car. So is that bad because the only car there happens to be red?
I pointed that out. I like, why? That's the only car that's red. I thought, okay, maybe like every other car might have been different color. Like, no, that's the only one that's actually red.
So that was like a big thing there.
And the
And
dude died in it.
yeah, so it didn't give as the why or how it happened. It's just
it's a Stephen King thing. Like, I'm quite sure with all the well detailed stuff that he's got in his Stephen King cinematic universe thing that he got going on, because believe it or not, all of his novels are connected.
yeah. I would like to know. I would
I
like
don't think he even knows what it because he's got another one, like another car in one of his novels that's kind of like Christine. I don't
mm-hmm.
know if it is Christine, but it's got something to do with like when you put stuff in it, it like disappears, and it's supposed to be kind of linked to the mist. So it's weird. It's weird. But anyways,
Anyway, fast forward to 21 years, and you meet Arnold.
Arnie.
Okay, so he, as Narik said, finds the car, fixes it up, but you don't know that he got like a what would you call it? Not a fetish for cars, but
The movie
even
doesn't.
interested
Yeah,
in
the movie doesn't establish he has a fancy for cars at all until he sees this
until that
car.
or even that particular car. We don't see him going by it, looking at it, walking home from school, looking at it. We don't see any of that. We just see them driving by, and he tells them to stop, and they look at it. He gets it, fixes it up, and that's it.
And another thing about this film is a lot of the characters are so like stupid. The old man that sold him the car was weird. The guy that allowed him to fix the car in his shop was an asshole.
Yeah.
The dude that was picking on him, that grown ass man, sitting here picking on this dude. It's like six of these jock guys, and they look like they grown. They look like they're like 25 years old, still in high school.
Yeah.
Like all of them were dicks, and it's like the only decent person in the movie actually was perhaps his family and his friend.
Well, I would. His family was weird.
Yeah, they were weirdos.
So maybe decent because the girl was weird too. So maybe decent enough to make his friend.
Yeah, his friend is pretty much the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's kind of weird because in a way the movie feels like it's more about his friend than it is him. But maybe it's the way it's shot. You would think it was more about him.
Yeah, because all we saw was him getting the car, and after little few scenes of him fixing it, and then next scene, dude's playing football, and he sees Arnie in the car all cut up and shirt and all, glasses off, and
he had that greaser. He was a greaser.
So
so the story ends up going around like really like three things. It's his friend that's figuring out what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's him kind of going down this line of obsession over his car, and it's kind of like the car itself is doing its thing.
Yeah.
So anybody that wrongs him, the car ends up going after him.
But he turned quickly. He very influenced.
That was one of the pacing problems I had with the film. Is like it was kind of gradual, but at the same time it was kind of fast. Because what we were saying, we didn't even see how he met the girl, and the girl was all over him. I was like, right. So how long were y'all talking?
Yeah.
So like there was no transition in that really. And it's like it would have been different if it was a little bit more of a gradual. And at some points, it feels like it's gradual, and it's like it made the jump, and then it pulls back, and then it makes a jump, and then it pulls back.
Because his friend, what was his friend name? Dennis. Dennis, he was kind of trying to hit on the girl at first, and then all of a sudden you see her with Arnie. Like she don't look like one of the popular girls, but she looked like a girl, who was like, oh, that's a nerd,
She was a new chick.
Yeah, she was a new one.
Which I don't understand why Dennis took the approach to talk to the way he did too, because he did it like he was a nerd.
Right.
Like, dude, you're a jock. You gonna talk to any chick you want to. But I actually liked his character above everyone else. The girl, I kind of felt like they didn't do like enough with her. Mm-hmm. Like I don't really know. Like there really wasn't like a compelling scene for us to get to know her. Yes, her and Dennis had that one little conversation, but maybe if the movie would explore a little bit more conversation she had with the other dude, get to know more about her character.
Yeah, and she went to Dennis to complain about Arnie in the car. So.
And then I never understood like what was her attraction, like what was their attraction. Because he kept doing bad stuff, and then she kept kind of hanging with him.
Yeah. Because it was overtime, like you said. How he got turned, the car turned him, and she was like, it's that car. He's always hanging around that car, doing something in that car. So it had to be maybe, months? Overtime to get that car fixed up, you might as well say, yeah.
But think about this, was it him fixing the car up, or was it the car itself fixing itself?
Well, yeah.
I mean, I guess he was fixing it too, but the car could have fixed itself up.
Well, he didn't seem surprised when after the boys had destroyed it, when he saw it move, and he just kind of stood back like the car was talking to him.
That was the best scene to me. That was one of the best scenes in the movie.
But he kind of stood back like the car was talking to him. Okay, let me do this. Now, if it would have happened before. So maybe that was the first time, and then he fixed the car up himself. Maybe the first time.
Yeah, okay. Maybe he had to literally put like his blood, sweat, and tears into it or
Yeah,
something.
because he was like, "Show me." If wouldn't have showed me if it had happened before.
Again, great sequence. It was great practical effects and everything. The way it was shot was good. Thumbs up to them for that.
Okay.
That's in the time we don't have CGI and that skill. So I give it to them on that. Thumbs up. I still think that it was one of those films like they could have done a little bit more. Gave it probably about like 20 minutes more to let us get let the car act a fool a little bit. Uh, because like the whole time there's this detective who really wasn't doing shit the entire movie. I mean, he's a cool guy, but he was trying to figure out like who was like committing these murders and stuff. And I feel like the car did enough to be like a menace, but I still would have liked it to have had one more good romp. Because the biggest thing it did in the movie was when it went after those the jock guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the biggest thing it did.
Right.
So I'm like, I would have liked to seen like maybe had it like a police chase or something.
Because even though when he went after the dudes, we didn't know if it was just a car or whether Arnie was in there. If they maybe would have showed a scene, maybe Arnie was at the girl's house or he was asleep and the car eased itself out and went after the boys. Yeah, that would have made a little bit more sense. Like, okay, yeah, the car is doing some bad stuff now. So.
And another thing, remember at the end of the movie how we were like, the cop bought the thing. It was Arnie that was doing the killing or whatever, but there was no transition. It was like they killed the car, they destroyed the car, then it was at the end of the movie. And I'm like, and this is what I meant when I was saying they should have added more to it. Have the cop being more involved. Have the cop witness the car doing this crazy stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
That would have made for a more compelling. It would have made for a better action sequence, like ending climax. Because what are the chances that that jock knew how to use that bulldozer like that?
Yeah.
So it would have made more sense if they actually did more with that detective.
Because I was surprised. I thought there was. That's how long it's been. I thought there was gonna after the car slammed into it, the thing with Arnie in it. I thought maybe it was gonna come back, and then all of a sudden it showed the car being turned into a little square. I'm like, oh, so that's it. I thought there was gonna be more. I thought it was gonna come back again. You know,
they put it to where it was like a cliffhanger because it zooms in on it and you can see.
I know the cliffhanger, but I thought it was gonna come back after Arnie smashed himself into the.
You do realize there was more that happened after that, right? He smashed. Mm-hmm. He hit the thing, flew out the window, killed himself.
Yeah.
And then the car went after the girl. And then the dude ended up. That's the part where the car kept trying to get to her, and he put the bulldozer in front of it so the car couldn't get to her.
Yeah.
And then it was what happened? She ran to the other end, and then the car was like messed up. And then it tried to get to her. Then the dude pushed the bulldozer on the back of it, and smashed the back of it.
Yeah, I was trying to.
And then he started running over it. So like I said, it was a great climax. I really wish that police officer guy would have had a bigger role in the film. Like
he just showed up.
Yeah, like during that, this is what I feel like it should have been. It should have been the ending climax should have been. He got a car, that car. Them two cars are going at it. They're having like a street chase or something. Then it ends up with them being in that area or whatever. But then the cop shows up and kind of saves them at the last moment. I would have been okay if the cop died during it. But at least he did something. That's
so what about Arnie's death? Do you think he should have, like maybe after the car got destroyed, maybe he should have just snapped out of it?
I would say, but the thing about it is I didn't care about his character. It's one thing to care about your character because they're an interesting and likable character. But they tried to force you to like him because he was a nerd.
No, I'm like, okay, yeah, but we didn't see him being a nerd that long. Not that long in the movie. I'm just saying all of a sudden he's now this new person.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't. The film doesn't establish his character enough for me to like him to care.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but and like I said, it's like they made him this like overly caricaturized version of a nerd. And I'm like, I'm not gonna feel sorry for this guy because y'all obviously made him this nerd that can't defend himself. Like every nerd can't say nothing or something like that. But
And then
I liked his friend better.
How quickly he changed, and so people started respecting him. Well, he didn't
And
go
then
back to school.
And then you think about it, he didn't really do nothing badass.
No, it was a car. But I'm just saying.
Like I would have liked that change. Like, okay, the dudes was messing with him. I would have liked I would have liked for him to like smack that dude in the face and be like, "Got your boys, man. You don't want to mess with. You don't want none of this." Like I would have liked one of that scene too.
Okay, that was just scary.
Yeah.
No.
What?
What you did? No.
Oh.
I'm just saying maybe during one of the car chases.
In fact, why did they smash that car?
To get back at Arnie?
For what?
I don't know.
Let me look that up. Why did they decide to do that to his car anyway? Now that I think about it.
It does it really say? Oh, he didn't he smack one of them?
I don't know.
See, it doesn't really. What I meant to say was during one of the chase sequences with the boys, maybe the one who you was like, that's a lazy run, he would have.
Oh.
And what is it?
When they got kicked out of class, they got expelled.
That was it. And they hadn't got expelled before. Them
Like,
30-year-old men.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like that part, that should have been like, okay, we'll lay off on them or whatever. But if we catch them out in the streets or something, we'll deal with them. That should have been the moment where they caught him out in the streets, and he sat there and punked them. Then they said, you know what, we're gonna go get him. We go like that would have made more sense.
Then, well, as I was finna say,
Sorry.
that you know how he cornered that big dude in a corner in the alley, and they just showed him doing like that. If he would have just made it to where he didn't get out, if Arnie was all badass, he would have got out maybe with something, or maybe would have and left the car right there, lights on, and then beat his ass.
But that's the thing. But they wanted you to see. They wanted you to put it to where, yeah, you can see the cars in action now, and it's not him. Now, if that would have happened later on in the movie, to where, like, at first, they'll try to put it to where the car is doing the stuff. So you're like, okay, it's the car doing it. But then they'll develop a sequence where Arnie does something. So you're like, okay, is it Arnie that's doing it, or is it the car doing it?
Yeah, so with both Arnie and the car. And
but
not just the car, because Arnie wasn't really nothing without the car.
And like I had said earlier, he didn't do anything badass the entire movie.
So
even at the part where at the end where you actually find out he's in the car, you don't know if he's actually doing it or if it's the car doing it. He just happened to be inside.
Right.
But that's kind of like the mystery behind it. It's like it's the car doing it, but is he doing it? If he end up doing some stuff, you be like, okay, the car is getting him to do this stuff, but you can't really tell because the car's doing most of the stuff.
Yeah, well, the car was doing it all.
I mean, I guess in that sequence it does set up that he is like doing it now because he was in the car. But it probably, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it would have made a little bit more sense to. But then, like I said, the movie doesn't seem like it's about him. I don't know.
That's why the movie's called Christine.
But yeah, let's talk about like a reboot. We were talking about like a reboot. No, you know what? I'm gonna cut this up, make this a different video. All right, then. What would you give Christine?
Well, seeing as how all that, and going out through the years, and I don't know, I'm just talking. I think it's a 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say a 3 out of 5. Well, we both gave him 3 out of 5s. Guys, in the comment section below, let us know, what are your thoughts about the movie Christine? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Do you think it actually stands the test of time? And And also be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel, guys. And remember, we do upload every week, so y'all stay tuned for those videos, and we'll catch you guys later.
Bye.